When you crack your screen, mess up your charge port, you get soaked in a rainstorm, what do? Save money, save big, fix it, get surgery. There's a cell phone hospital near you. It's the Cell Surgeon. Adam Disbro, the man in white, he replaces your screen, fixes your buttons, gives you back Twitter, Facebook, your online universe. Walk-in patients go to Cell Surgeon in Ottawa. Cell Surgeon is new in Ottawa, next to Zaxby's. Other docs in the cell repair business are just lab coats. The doc at Cell Surgeon is the best. He wants you to be happy, fix your phone, save money, and save time. Every minute is valuable, and Cell Surgeon doesn't want to waste a second. Your wireless MD, the Cell Surgeon, quick and precise with your device. Takes an hour or less. Northgate Mall, Cell Surgeon next to Old Chicago Pizza, 900-8263, thecellsurgeon.com. Like him on Facebook.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
WSDT Sunny Daisy, Chattanooga.
Donald Trump responds.
These claims are all fabricated. They're pure fiction and they're outright lies.
Michelle Obama on the locker room banter.
It now seems very clear that this isn't an isolated incident. It's one of countless examples of how he has treated women his whole life.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition. I'm Bill Whitney. Donald Trump says it's absolutely hurtful that he's been accused of forcing himself on women. He insisted today that the women made up their stories and they were published to help Hillary Clinton. More from correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
The New York Times quoted one woman, 74-year-old Jessica Leeds, who said she sat next to Trump on an airplane in the early 1980s.
When he started putting his hand up my skirt, that was it.
Another woman said Trump kissed her in an elevator in 2005. Reporter Megan Toohey said when she presented these allegations to Trump,
started to yell at me and told me that I was a disgusting human being.
They will lie, lie, lie.
Painting himself as a victim of a press bent on destroying his candidacy, Trump blasted the reports as nothing more than false smears.
These vicious claims about me of inappropriate conduct with women are totally and absolutely false.
Trump says he's preparing to sue the New York Times. A lawyer for the paper responds, saying the Times did what the law allows, publishing newsworthy information. And if Mr. Trump disagrees, quote, "We welcome the opportunity to have a court set him straight." Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, Washington.
The Times says its story didn't have the slightest effect on the reputation that Trump, through his own words and actions, has already created for himself. Trump's words recorded in 2005 drew an angry, emotional response from Michelle Obama today.
This is Pam Coulter. In New Hampshire, the First Lady called Trump's comments about groping women disgraceful and intolerable, saying she and other women feel those things personally.
The shameful comments about our bodies, the belief that you can do anything you want to a woman.
She rejected Trump's claim it was just locker room banter.
This was a powerful individual speaking freely and openly about sexually predatory behavior.
It's not about politics, she said. It's about right and wrong. Pam Coulter, CBS News, the White House.
Hillary Clinton spoke in San Francisco.
The whole world has heard Trump brag about how he mistreats women, and the disturbing stories just keep coming.
The allegations of sexual misconduct didn't matter to this Trump supporter at a rally in Florida.
We have important issues here. The Supreme Court, the borders, the list is long, and this is garbage. This is stuff that distracts from the real future of the United States of America.
The Dow ended the day 45 points lower at 18,098. Now this.
I could either ignore it or face it. My child had trouble grasping math concepts. You don't want your kids to fail at math. You want them to have confidence and the skills to take them where their dreams are. Math Made Easy wants to make you an offer. They'll improve your student's grade by at least one full grade or your money back. Teachers can't slow the pace for each student. Math Made Easy can. For more than 20 years, Math Made Easy has been helping hundreds of thousands of students grasp challenging math concepts using a step-by-step approach. The affordable Math Made Easy programs help students visualize math concepts with engaging and dynamic lessons. Students learn at their own pace. Call 1-866-598-MATH or visit mathmadeeasy.com. Ready for the Math Made Easy Grade Improvement Challenge? Now that the kids are getting back to school, make sure your child gets a head start in the new school year with Math Made Easy. Turn frustration into achievement. Call now, 1-866-598-MATH, 1-866-598-6284.
The U.S. death toll from Hurricane Matthew rose to 39 today, including 22 dead in North Carolina. As floodwaters continue to rise, Governor Pat McCrory says caskets are floating out of graves.
First responders deal with a very, very emotional situation where you have a casket floating in the water. It can't get tougher than that. Even those who have passed are not free from the impacts of Hurricane Matthew.
Hurricane Nicole blasted Bermuda today with winds up to 115 miles per hour. But correspondent Don Daler in Hamilton says the islands of volcanic rock weathered the storm quite well.
All reports that we're hearing is that there was not any serious damage and no fatalities, which is amazing because this was a terrific storm, just breathtaking in its intensity.
The National Hurricane Center says Nicole is weakening now as it moves off to the northeast. You're listening to CBS.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240. Here's what advertisers are saying about AM 1240. HotNewsTalkRadio.com.
Radio station, they really care. They're always calling me probably once a week, checking on me, seeing how things going, see if they want to change any of the ads or do anything different, seeing what my needs are. Gotten business off the ads that you do for me, and seems to be working well at this point.
Prices were very fair. Areas in this town that we aren't able to get other ways, your radio station is able to help us out, and I really appreciate that.
We've been very pleased with the services we've got. It seems like everybody over there cares about what they're going to do, how it's going to work for us on this end. And we've been very impressed with the creativity of the ads that we've heard. And they always seem to be right on point, even without us having to come up with what's going to be said.
I've been doing business with News Talk Radio for quite some time. It's the best place and the best value you can get for your advertisement. The commercials are great. They're very professional. I was actually blown away.
The commercial that they put together was awesome. It was way far above all the other radio stations we've dealt with. The best we've had yet, guarantee you, by far.
AM 1240, HotNewsTalkRadio.com gets results. Let us get results for your business. For no obligation free consultation, call General Sales Manager Steve Johnson. Call 423-240-5459. That's 240-5459. Or you can always email Steve at NoogaRadiosteve@gmail.com. That's NoogaRadiosteve@gmail.com. AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio. We get results.
Oh, the Comfy Lounge. We're back.
The comfiest show on radio.
I think so.
No, there's no dispute. It is.
It's just a general fact.
It's a fact of life. There's The Sky is Blue, Death and Taxes, Two Millennials Talk is the comfiest show on radio.
And online.
Online as well. Yeah, we're a podcast now. Hopefully.
if somehow, and I don't even want to know. Oh, we had a viewer just now and they left.
Cool.
But we if YouTube somehow crashes on us, we're basically just out of a podcast.
We're out of a podcast. So pray to the YouTube gods that it stays alive and woke. Stay woke, YouTube. We need you.
I think that's what they should call Star Wars Episode 8.
The woke?
The Force stay woke. it awokened.
I was thinking of Rogue One. It's like Woke One.
Which, by the way, have you seen the Rogue One trailer?
Oh my gosh. I saw it 2 hours after it was posted. I'm so hyped. Like, I'm more hyped for Rogue One than I was for Episode 7.
Same here.
Yeah.
And I was pretty hyped for Episode 7.
I was so hyped for 7.
I didn't want to be hyped for Episode 7, considering that like I had not seen all of the Star Wars that I should have seen in life. And then I watched it and I was like, yeah, I want to see it. Darn it.
7 had a lot going against it, though, is the thing. Because 7 is like, well, you got J.J. Abrams, okay. You got new characters, okay. Then you find out old characters are going to come back, and you're like, okay. And it turned out pretty good, though. It turned out better than I thought it would.
It was a solid movie.
I saw it like 4 or 5 times, so I've given like $100 to Star Wars.
To Star Wars and J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, curse you, J.J.
Who's putting that right into his pocket. I like J.J., though.
He's a cool guy, and plus I paid for other people's tickets, so it's $200.
Wow. They just made a ton of money off of you, but it's okay. It's money well spent if you wanted to spend it.
Well, plus popcorn and the theater shower fee and all that stuff.
Oh, man.
It adds up.
Like, it really, really does, it seems like. But we have a slate of stories here for you.
We actually did show prep this time.
Yes, albeit mine was kind of minimal because I was planning on doing longer show prep, and then I left. But
yeah, you kind of just walked out of the office.
Yeah, I got to stop doing that.
I don't know what you're doing.
But you know what? I did do some this time, which is better than what usually happens, which is none. Like I just walk in here and we just start talking.
Well, before we get to it, should we mention who we are?
We should mention who we are. I'm Keon Rose.
I'm Russell Stroud.
No, we did it correctly this time.
We did. I'm the news director, and you are?
The sports director.
There we go. I'm technically his boss, but not really. It doesn't really work out that way.
Yeah.
We're blowing it up too much to do the whole boss employee crap.
If you were actually my boss, it couldn't be the comfiest show on radio.
No, it would be kind of awkward because you'd have to agree with everything I say.
Please don't fire me.
Keon, I don't know, man. I think episode 3 was, or I think Star Trek 3 was really bad. So I'm going to have to fire you.
Oh, well.
Search for Spock was not very good. You're out. So what do you have in your itinerary, Keon?
Well, we were talking about it earlier. Alex Trebek.
Alex Trebek.
Scorched some poor woman.
He so did, and she kind of deserved it, though. I didn't feel bad for her, because she's the kind of person I hate.
Okay, so let me set it up here, because I have some questions about her.
Okay.
Alex Trebek was on... Well, she was on Jeopardy.
Of course,
Alex Trebek was on Jeopardy.
He was on Wheel of Fortune the other day.
He was, he was on The Price is Right. Alex Trebek had a contestant, and she was at the part of the show where they were introducing who they were and what it was that they did, and she introduced herself as a nerdcore rapper,
which is, I guess, her employment.
Yes.
Okay.
Which, to me, I feel like that's something she does on the side and or in her spare time, that she just thought it would be cool if she said on Jeopardy that she was a nerdcore rapper.
That's like if I said I build RC planes. Like, no one cares.
Yeah. And do they pay you to build RC planes? Because if they do, then, that's cool. But I have doubts.
I pay myself a lot of money from my wallet
for your own RC planes. But she introduced herself as a nerdcore rapper, and he said, "Well, what's that? What is it that nerdcore rappers talk about?" And she said, nerd culture, technology, gadgets, and having trouble finding relationship.
And this is a woman saying this, so it's more sad, actually.
Yeah, somehow. and he said, "So you're losers."
And there's this long pause.
And she just kind of looks at him and then looks away, and then continues to look away. And then he said, "I'm just kidding," and then moved right along. Like, he didn't even stop. The apology meant nothing.
And my favorite part is who he moved to, because he goes, "And Sergeant Buckley works for the U.S. Army." It's like this overachiever guy.
Yes, you went from job that means nothing and hasn't meant anything really since the early 2000s.
Yeah.
To be honest. Nerd rap. When was the last nerd rapper that released anything relevant, really?
I don't remember. Like, there was a guy who mixed like rap with chiptunes, and that's the last thing I remember.
And I missed that guy too. So
I don't remember who he is. I just know he did.
Nerd rap was cool when it was big, and then it faded very quickly.
Well, just like nerd culture in general faded really quickly. It suddenly stopped being cool.
Well, it's okay. This is partly, you need hipster logic to even understand this.
Yeah.
Because nerd culture stopped being cool because it started being cool. Yeah. There was a point where being a nerd was an actual exclusive thing that happened, and then suddenly everyone was like, "Oh, I'm proud to be a nerd." And then Doctor Who got really big in America, and people just, you like Doctor Who, you're a nerd.
Normal people start watching anime.
Yeah, that just normies took something that, by the way, when I was in high school and I watched anime, they beat me up. Like, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I lived in Texas, and they beat me up. Like, that's because that was nerdy.
Yeah.
You weren't proud of being a nerd.
We were probably the last generation to beat people up for liking things.
Liking things. You like something I don't like. Get your head in that toilet.
It's not just me. It's this group of us. You like something this group of us agreed is not cool.
It's not cool.
It's over.
We are going to give you the pounding of your life. So I don't know how it is that happened necessarily, but it just kind of became a thing where being nerdy was uncool, and then somehow it was cool to be nerdy. Like The Walking Dead's on TV. Used to be a comic book. You watch The Walking Dead, you're a nerd now. No, you're not.
No.
You are not. That doesn't make you a nerd. That just means that you're able to turn your TV to AMC on whatever night it comes on. I mean, that doesn't mean anything.
You see that image, well, it became an image macro, but you see that comic where it's why I'm antisocial, and there's like people around me, and this guy wearing like a yellow shirt, and they're at a club or whatever, and she's like, I got the 6-disc box set of the Avengers, and I'm like, dude, Avengers is one of the highest grossing films of all time. That's not nerdy at all.
No, you were in the theater with a lot of other people
who are all thinking they're pretty nerdy for seeing the Avengers.
Correct. Now, if you were in the theater for the third X-Files movie, you're a nerd.
That's pretty nerdy. Even I didn't do that.
I didn't do that either, but I have a friend, she went there, like she was homeschooled, and so like in her spare time, she just powered through the entirety of the X-Files.
Oh wow.
And loved it.
That's a feat.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
I've seen every episode. And I'm like, that's pretty impressive. I've seen a lot of them. I haven't seen all of them.
Maybe aliens are preparing her for an encounter.
Possibly.
Hey, that'd be kind of cool.
She went, and she was at the theater when the third X-Files movie came out and loved that too. You can't tell her that those movies are bad.
Can't you?
She won't believe you.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you physically can, I suppose, but she won't listen to it. Like, she won't hear it.
I will say I had a bit of a I can't say that on the air. I had a bit of a nerdy good feeling moment when I saw the when I saw the
FCC landmine there.
Dang FCC. Cursed entity that governs us and facilitates our being on the air. No, when the X-Files first showed again on ABC or Fox, I guess, on Fox 61 or whatever it was on, and they played the original intro for like the revamp of the series. Did you know that happened?
I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, it was kind of cool because they show like, we're coming out with 12 new episodes of the X-Files and everyone's all excited. We watched it and they played the original intro as the intro to it, and it was so cool.
Oh, that's very cool.
It was amazing, especially watching it on the big screen on TV. It was amazing.
Man, that show I think would probably be even more appreciated now.
Yeah, probably
than it was then.
Conspiracies are cool now.
Yeah,
they weren't back then. Like the whole lone gunman thing that predicted 9/11.
I mean, there's so many things now. I think the internet has made it easier to just find conspiracies. Like if you want to just do nothing with your evening but read conspiracies, you can find them.
Or if you want to do nothing with your adolescence, which is what I did
for a much longer period of time.
Yeah.
Coast to Coast is one of my favorite shows now.
Oh, it's what got me into radio.
Like I've been listening to it a lot. That's true. You did tell me that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that show is so cool though.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, it is weird, but it is so cool.
Especially every Halloween, they do Ghost to Ghost, and that's coming up soon, actually. They do Ghost to Ghost, where they talk about ghost stories.
Wow, okay.
Different people call in, and they give out their ghost stories, and they do it for, 3-4 hours.
That's pretty cool.
It's kind of the most amazing thing ever, especially with Art Bell back when he was on. I acquired a bunch of episodes of, don't sue me, dude, a bunch of episodes of Art Bell doing.
But you didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything. Of Ghost to Ghost, and going back to the 90s, which somehow makes it creepier, and they were just creepy stories.
Oh yeah,
amazing stuff. So we got a lot to get to here. I've got some stuff if you want me to break out my.
No, please do.
Okay. So I've got a whole list here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 items to talk about. Believe it or not.
That is the most that has ever been prepped for this show.
Actually, except for maybe the first one we did. But here's an item on Amazon.com that is one of the best things that you can buy, and it's changed my life. I'll tell you. It's called, and I actually wrote down the wrong name in my show notes. So let me bring up my phone here, where I've prepared so much that I actually brought up on my phone. The Auto Exec Wheelmate Steering Wheel Attachment.
Okay. This requires quite a bit of explanation.
So what this does is, if you've ever been driving down the road and you wished you had a desk in front of you, this fixes that problem.
I often do wish that I've had a desk in front of me.
So this is a small platform that attaches to your desk, a small desk that attaches to your steering wheel with little clamps, and you now have a little desk in front of you on your steering wheel while you're driving. So you can use your laptop, do some cooking, change a baby, which apparently someone did. But that's not really the best part. The best part is not the usage of it. The best part is the creative ways other people have used it and told us about it on Amazon.com with their reviews.
Oh, wonderful.
So shall I?
Please do.
Okay.
This is going to be absolutely exciting.
So this is a 5-star review from an Amazon customer. And here it is verbatim. Amazon customer says, this is from April the 11th, 2013. On my way home from grocery shopping or fishing, this car-mounted cutting board is phenomenal to cut carrots or clean a fish. While While driving home, keep your knives in the cup holder. Result by the time you arrive home, just pop fish or carrots in a pot in 30 minutes time saved. Extra bonus for trying to balance the juices of fish or veggies nicely in the center of this board without spilling onto the carpet, because this steering wheel desk is affixed to the steering wheel. It turns with the wheel. So you better hope you have a Buick.
Clearly. Wow.
Now here's another one. All right, this is by interesting name, Blind Driver, who also gave this a 5-star review.
Oh boy.
I am totally blind. I'm sorry.
Should have guessed by the name.
I am totally blind, and now that I have the Wheelmate steering wheel tray, I can keep my fingers on my Braille map while driving and don't have to worry about getting lost anymore. Even though I don't know where I usually am when I get there. It's comforting to know that I'm in the general area. Most blind people just sit at I'm sorry. Most blind people just sit at home complaining that they can't do anything. Well, now you can. Get on the road and hear the world. There's a photo of it. It's got an iPad on it.
There's a first-person view of an iPad on his desk.
Attached to the steering wheel.
Attached to the steering wheel.
This guy says I've been taking my lunch breaks at local parks for years. Being in the car doesn't offer much space to work with, and I often find myself spilling on my work pants. I wish I had known about this product before, but I'm very glad I came across it now. It fits perfectly in my Mazda 3's steering wheel and provides a much-needed shelf for balancing food items. So it's much easier than supporting things on my lap. I was also impressed with the quality of the Wheelmate, light, sturdy, but durable, and the textured surface prevents unwanted items from slipping off. Very well done. So, yeah.
But he's not getting a pass for the Mazda 3.
No.
Where he is a grown man in a Mazda 3.
Now, this is something that we often don't think about when we think about the average professional, especially in the 21st century with old, startups and everything. These guys are on their phones and their laptops basically all day. And sometimes you just can't take a break. Even when you're going to get coffee, you just can't take a break. That's the life of the modern executive. So here's a review from Sexy But Classy, April the 19th, 2014. Actually, why don't you read this, Keon? This one here.
All right. My office is my car. I have one of those workstations in the front seat, but hate twisting to reach the laptop when I'm at an appointment working. This steering wheel desk works perfectly. You do have to turn the wheel upside down in order to use the desk, but that's not an issue, because one should be using the desk while driving anyway. Perfect for anyone who has to work from their vehicle. Sturdy and well made.
Everyone notes that, so I guess it's the case.
It's sturdy and well made. So it must be sturdy and well made. I feel like that's definitely not the problem with that particular device.
Well, this person is an artist, and Jill Collins from the Art Beat of Chattanooga, which is on every Thursday at 11 o'clock, will appreciate that. This person, Zalex, writes this. Ever notice the lack of interstate landscapes in art galleries? Surely a major problem is our inability to position our easel in the center lane of America's real home, the interstate highway. Now the wonderful laptop steering wheel desk allows us to prop the canvas against the steering wheel and put our paints on the desk. Do remember to open the sunroof or put the convertible top down to get the light right for the Barbizon school effect. I never went to art school.
I didn't go to art school either. Also, what a pretentious person.
Wear your smock as the linseed oil does splash if you drive over a section being repaved.
What a pretentious person. Make sure to pull back your sunroof or your convertible.
No.
Oh, I have one of those.
There have been a few, and I'm trying to find the particular one. There was one that was really interesting, and I think it would it really just changed my life the way I read it, because we all have children, right?
Right.
And some of us have to change the diapers of our children on the go.
Why stop your car to do all of that?
Well, exactly. And I'm trying to find the.
Have you been on a Florida highway? You could go miles without an exit.
This person says, got easily broken in half the second time I've mounted it on the wheel. As soon as I have asked for replacement, I've received it in 3 days. Thanks for that. The second wheel made is more reliable so far. It's a hunk of plastic, guys.
I like to imagine that he was just Jackie Chan karate chopping it just to see if it was sturdy and well made.
But the thing is, you know, I can't tell how many of these reviews are real people or how many are just people who are fooling around pretending they got it to be funny. You know, and I think a lot of them are, especially the bad reviews who say, you know, oh, it's flimsy.
I'm going to try and find it for you because I remember that the Paula Deen, when she used to work for Food Network, posted a recipe for English peas. And the recipe was just this: English peas and butter. That was the whole recipe. Put butter on the English peas, warm them up till butter melts. And that was it. So people were writing these serious reviews to Paula Deen about how the English peas and butter is the perfect meal for their children and how they wouldn't know what else to eat if it weren't for Paula Deen and these English peas. Even though Food Network kept it up there because it was starting to get ridiculous.
There have been a few incidents of things like that happening too, just in the real world with different book reviews where someone will write some ridiculous book, you know, and then people will write fake reviews of it saying how great this particular product is. One I remember was this book, I think it was about the Holocaust or something, and people were like, you know, good book.
Great book.
What a great book.
Great read for Tommy. He's 8. Love to educate him on Holocaust history.
This is what this is actually, you know, people play Beethoven for their kids sometimes to make them smarter. I read them books about Hitler.
Just let him know what his heritage is.
Well, yeah, I mean, my kids are going to be, you know, part German, I think, probably. So it's good to know where they come from.
Just good to know what it was that happened.
If I sound slow, it's because I'm frantically trying to Google the stupid thing for the review for this auto exec attachable steering wheel table, and I can't seem to find it at the moment. I found it like years and years ago, but there was one story that was really interesting that I'll sort of try to paraphrase. This woman had bought it as a changing table for her child, but there's one fatal error that she didn't really notice when she first bought it, which is when you have your child on the table and you're changing your child's diaper on your steering wheel, you might not remember that sometimes you have to turn the steering wheel.
Yes.
And dang if her kid didn't just go out the window.
Oh.
And that was a bit of a problem because she had to go back and find it.
I mean, well, obviously. But okay. That was not going where I thought that was going.
Dang if that kid just out the window.
One bit.
That sounds like something my mom would have done, actually. My parents tried to kill me when I was a kid, just through ineptitude. They're great parents, but sometimes they had these lapses where they just went nuts. Like my dad tried to kill me with explosives that time.
The fire pit story.
The fire pit story where I was burning wood and it turned out he put acetone in a sealed jar in the fire pit and it exploded and almost killed me. And I called him up and I said, Dad, the fire pit exploded. He says, oh yeah, I put acetone in the fire pit. Like that was a normal thing.
Oh yeah, just every single day.
My parents sometimes, man.
But I can't poke fun at your parents because they're your parents. You do that. I'm Keon Rose.
I'm Russell Stroud.
We're two millennials talking, and this is Hot 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
You're hurting me, baby.
Hot News Talk 1240 AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio with your chance to win $124 in cash and $124 in food every week with the Hot News Talk Radio 1, 2, 3 NASCAR contest. Hot News Talk 1240. All you have to do is guess who's going to be first, second, and third place in the upcoming NASCAR Sprint Cup race. If you guess it, you'll hear your name live Monday morning at 11:30. Then call AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio to win. Enter your guess right now at Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds, 5301 Brainerd Road, Chattanooga. Diesel Off-Road Technology Sonny Daisy for your four-wheel drive and truck needs. Stuff and upholstery with premium rubber foam. Amigos Mexican Restaurant next to Staples and Hickson. Drink specials during the race. Cell Surgeon, the Broken Screen Doc. And Shooter's Supply, 4824 Hickson Pike in Hickson. Hot News Talk 1240. Enter your guesses now and then listen to the race live to win $124 in cash and $124 in food from Chattanooga's official NASCAR radio station. Hot News Talk 1240.
I love NASCAR.
Cash, 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 and more cash. Rick Davis has the cash when you sell gold, silver, diamonds, rings, and jewelry. Sell Rick your precious metals today and lock in your price. Hey, Rick Davis will trade your cash for shiny, brilliant, and heavy gold. Gold cheaper now by $100 an ounce. Join the Rick Davis Silver Bonanza too. Prices so low, the Lone Ranger is bound to gallop in, Kimosabi. Hey-ho, silver, away! The markets are changing, so buy now. Cash, 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 and more cash for your silver and gold, gold, gold. Rick Davis, 5301 Brainerd Road. That's 5301 Brainerd Road. Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds. Oh, and cash, cash, cash. You know where it is. Hey-ho, silver, away!
You want more business. You want to increase your bottom line. You want to spend less on advertising, imaging your business, and general expenses. You need Trade Bank. Trade Bank of Chattanooga. Trade Bank. Call now to get access to nearly 400 local businesses. Trade Bank. Call 877-2202. 877-2202. Trade Bank. You want to increase your cash flow, your competitive edge, attract new customers, and build a loyal customer base. You need Trade Bank of Chattanooga. Call right now. 877-2202. When you join Trade Bank, you'll get the benefit of free advertising in our monthly magazine, tradebank.com, emails, and mailouts. Join Trade Bank now and receive your Trade Bank debit card with trade credits to spend any way you want with our wide variety of Trade Bank partners. For almost 30 years, Trade Bank has been your voice for small business, a member of the American Bankers Association, and in good standing with you. Trade Bank of Chattanooga. Call now for a free consultation. 877-2202. That's 877-2202. Trade Bank of Chattanooga.
Expect fair to partly cloudy skies to continue through the nighttime. Not as cool overnight, lows mid and upper 50s. For Friday, increasing clouds, still looking dry, highs into the upper 70s. A spotty shower or two possible late Friday night through Saturday morning. Much of the weekend, though, looking dry. This forecast is brought to you by JCPenney. Get an extra 20% off select items now with your JCPenney credit card and coupon, or 15% with any other form of payment. That's getting your pennies worth at JCPenney. And I'm Swarm Gene 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Hoare.
On AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Hot 1240 Hot News Talk Radio with your Hot News Now update. A brush fire blazes on in Signal Mountain, Tennessee. Firefighters in the Forestry Service are doing all they can to keep it under control. Helicopters have been dumping water on it from a nearby lake, and it looks like it's contained for now. Some residents of the area say they can see the blaze from their back porches. Distracted driving leads to deadly crash. A woman from Chattanooga who had already been convicted for theft and drug paraphernalia charges has been indicted now on multiple more criminal charges, including vehicular homicide, texting while driving, and DUI. Police say the grisly accident happened Wednesday afternoon. The woman's bond has been set at $50,000. The community of Lookout Mountain has abandoned the free market and decided to ban short-term rentals. The most popular short-term rental service is Airbnb. People in Lookout Mountain say that they have banned the service for safety concerns. City Councilman and candidate for Mayor Larry Groen proposed a controversial idea: beer sales in movie theaters. Now, beer sales have already happened in privately rented movie theaters, but this will be new for general access movie theaters. If it's going on in the Tennessee Valley, it's going on Hot 1240 Hot News Talk Radio.
Truex Jr. is off the pace and he is headed to the pit lane. Elliott powers around the outside. Michael McDowell pops a right front tire. Here's Martin Truex to the bottom. Blaney blocks him off too. Meanwhile, Chase Elliott went 4 wide on the back straightaway. They're side by side for the lead.
Hear it live on Chattanooga's official NASCAR radio station. Hot News Talk 1240. The voice of NASCAR.
Oh. We found the recipe with the peas.
We found it.
And
well, Keon found it.
It did not disappoint.
So would you care to recount?
I will read.
If you can.
One of my favorite reviews.
And before you do that, what are we doing here? What is this?
This is Two Millennials Talk on Hot 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. I'm Keon Rose.
I'm Russell Stroud.
And we're getting better at this introduction thing.
We actually are. We sound almost like pros.
I know, right? Not like we do this for a living.
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
All our individual shows.
Well, define living, I guess.
In quotes there.
We do this for a pittance.
we do this for pittance, and somehow still happy to do it. I'm not actually sure how that works.
Can I have an extra halfpenny, sir?
No.
Our boss is kind of interesting guy. He has this British accent. and it's kind of an interesting one.
Yeah, he has a mustache that he also twirls.
He twirls and he's got this top hat and a monocle. And one time I asked him for more money. He goes, "You don't need more money. What you need is a stronger back and more power, more willpower. You don't need money."
And then he tried to spank you with a paddle. And not a belt, by the way, a paddle.
The paddle had holes drilled in it for maximum efficiency.
Yeah.
The man just bang.
And also loudness.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
The demoralizing effect there of a whole paddle.
And he did it in front of the whole sales team.
Right.
All I did was ask for a coffee, just a little coffee, and went off on me like that.
No, just some coffee and 6 pence and a halfpenny, and that's what happened.
Kind of sucks, dude.
Just messed up, man.
Still a little bit emotional about that. But the reviews on Paula Deen's
her English pea recipe, which is just a half a cup of butter and canned English peas.
It just hit me now how much a half a cup of butter is.
Yes, which I know that's one of the jokes about Paula Deen, that like all of her recipes are basically just butter.
Yeah.
But seriously though, that is a ton of butter.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's the South and everything, and that makes sense, but that's a lot of butter even for, like my grandmother from Louisiana.
It's way too much butter. And so one of the reviews for this fantastic recipe is from Michael Watson.
Fine dining.
Fine dining. Gave it 2 stars.
Uh-oh. A little bit displeased with this butter.
He was not very... He wasn't really pleased with the result, because his story went like this. He said, "I bought some fresh English peas at the local market, not knowing exactly how I would cook them. When I got home, I Googled serving suggestions for peas. I came across this wonderful recipe and figured I would give it a try. I figured out how to get the peas out of their pod by watching a video on YouTube. It wasn't that difficult, and it got much easier as I developed my own technique for pea extraction. Unfortunately, the butter I buy is from a wholesale market and comes in 1 pound, rectangles, not cubed.
Darn it. I've never heard of cubed butter, by the way.
Neither. So there's no helpful little marks to show you how much 1/4 of a cup is. So I went from memory and cut a chunk of about what looked to be half a stick of butter. My thermometer doesn't say warm in the rating, so I just guessed and pulled it out of the pan from the stove after a few minutes. I didn't really like the result. It didn't taste good. And then I remembered, I don't like peas."
Well, you could have noted that beforehand.
But he wanted you to read the entire review first.
I like how it starts out, "I bought fresh English peas," but the recipe calls for canned ones, I'm pretty sure.
It does go for canned.
So this is a much higher class recipe than what Paula Deen even had.
And he still didn't like the result somehow.
Yeah.
Also, my other favorite review, substituted the peas for butter. My family loved it.
Now it's a chowder.
Yeah.
Here's some soup.
Some butter chowder.
It's not butternut squash soup. Oh no, it's just butter.
Just straight up butter soup.
Butter soup.
Which I'm shocked that Paula Deen hadn't gotten to that point in her career, really, on her own.
Well, just wait a few years maybe. Come around
whenever she returns from her hiatus.
Is she on a hiatus now?
Well, I know she actually made a comeback, but I don't remember where.
She got in trouble for something that popped out in the 80s. She did some thing that was offensive.
It was some racist thing that I don't even think. I think she said it, but I don't know, the context in which she said it was weird, and then it happened forever ago, but people still got mad about it because that's just how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, she's a Southern lady in the 70s and 80s growing up. I mean, come on.
There's some people you just got to give the product of their environment a pass.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine Paula Deen coming out now being like, "I can't stand that Oprah lady because she's black."
Yeah. Just Paula Deen with the N-word left and right. I just can't imagine it.
No, she seems like such a pleasant lady. I can't imagine some indiscretion from the 80s or 70s becoming what she is now.
I don't know if Paula Deen's magazine still exists.
It does. I saw it the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw it at Walmart today when I was there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Paula Deen's one crime is this. Her eyes are freakishly blue.
I never noticed that.
They haunt me. My mom used to subscribe to it, so she would just have a stack of them in the bathroom because that's where she would just keep magazines. And Paula Deen's eyes, too blue. It's a shade of blue that doesn't seem right.
And she's always got that sort of open mouth smile. She just looks like this inviting granny, but there's something slightly sinister.
Yeah, the next thing she's about to cook is you. That's the feeling that I get.
She's leaving breadcrumbs to her house.
That's her one crime.
No, I love Paula Deen though. She seems pretty cool.
I mean, I don't know anything else about her. Like,
I used to watch her show all the time, so she seems like a pretty cool cat. I'd chill with Paula Deen.
I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah, I mean,
she doesn't seem mean or anything.
Well, I might be able to chill with Paula Deen. I don't know if you could chill with her.
Right, I don't know. If she still holds her 80s beliefs, I don't think I can.
You can wait outside.
So what's next for our prep list here that we actually did?
Well, I want to note something too about these Food Network celebrities.
Go on.
They always get magazines.
I think that's just like an extra revenue stream that just is sort of built in.
Is it just a thing they all do? Because Oprah, I know she's not on Food Network, but Oprah has like a magazine, the O magazine. She's got her own television network, right? It's like Rachel Ray had a magazine. I hope Guy Fieri has a magazine.
Do Guy Fieri fans read?
No, probably not.
Yeah.
All they do is listen to like Smash Mouth. And
Can we tell Guy Fieri to stop dressing like the guy from Smash Mouth? He
just-
doesn't dress like the guy from Smash Mouth doesn't dress like the guy from Smash Mouth any longer.
No, he just is like a normal guy. I wouldn't recognize him on the street anymore.
Guy Fieri still dresses like.
Can you imagine trying to convince people you're the guy from Smash Mouth? Like you're at a club or something, like, no, dude, I'm the guy from Smash Mouth. The guy's like, yeah, sure you are.
Uh-huh.
No, listen, somebody wants to.
No, everybody can do that.
You know that song? I do that song.
Yeah.
That's my song. I am Smash Mouth. I'm the guy from Smash Mouth. It's me, dude. So I've got. Actually, this is not on my formal list, but this is something I thought of 5 minutes ago while we were talking about different food reviews. You may have seen this before. It's called Old People Facebook.
I have seen this.
.tumblr.com.
Oh, glorious.
You're right. So this is
fantastic reading.
Yeah. So this is old people who post on Facebook, and different people taking screenshots of it, screenshotted it. I don't know, because old people on Facebook are an interesting thing to see.
Mostly because old people on Facebook, and this is no disrespect to old people.
Not at all.
Because I feel like we do need to respect our elderly more.
Sure.
But old people don't understand how the internet works.
Well, they have no reason to, which kind of makes it even funnier that they try.
Yes, it's the effort that really is honestly hilarious.
And the confidence, because to post on the internet, there has to be some amount of confidence. And these old people have that confidence. So this is a woman who posted on the Olive Garden Italian restaurant Facebook page. This is a post by Jaden King Jones. Went to Red Lobster for my birthday and enjoyed it greatly, she said to Olive Garden. My mom used to do this thing, and it always made me nervous when we'd go to the store and she couldn't find something, and she'd be like, we'd be in Food Line, she'd be like, maybe Ingles has it, and I'll be like, Mom, shh.
Just really loudly.
Yes, like, Mom, shh.
Well, in fairness to your mom, the sales associates really don't care.
I know. I just felt bad because I was like 10.
The manager might feel some kind of way about it, but the sales associates don't really care.
You're trying to take away our sales lady.
I work at Office Depot as well.
Yeah.
And there was a woman that walked into Office Depot and she just looked lost and confused. Like her eyes just got really big. And then she just turned to me and went, "Is this Staples?" I went, "No, man, it's not Staples.
Is this Whole Foods?"
They're across the street from the McDonald's.
Whoa, they changed things up inside Wendy's.
Just walk into a Burger King. "Is this a fresh market? Where's the bread?"
You go inside a Wendy's, you're like, "Where are the tacos?" Dadgummit. Make me a taco. And he just slams $100 down the desk, and some poor pimply kid like folds like a bun in half. Here's your taco, sir.
He tries to cut up the hamburger meat and get it on there.
He quickly grinds it. Here's some ground beef I made real quick. Some like fries that he turned into tortilla chips. Right. So this is a story that we've kind of been teasing for a little bit. You asked me, or somehow, I can't remember if you asked me or if I just got curious and looked it up because I do that kind of thing. We were thinking about weaponry and how like medieval weaponry is completely outdated nowadays and who would ever use it to kill someone else. We found out, and I'm not going to name any names for respect for the dead and the accused, but we found out that the most recent bow and arrow death in America apparently happened in 2013.
So not long ago, like I would have guessed probably not long after the Native Americans. Has anyone really not needed to use a bow and arrow to kill somebody after the Native Americans basically ran America, and then of course we did what we did to them.
Oh, yeah.
But I would have guessed that would have been the last time.
You'd expect to see like Wounded Knee as the last reference.
As the last time someone really died of a bow and arrow.
Well,
3 years ago?
3 years ago. I was working here the last time this happened. A Berlin man, this is Berlin, New Jersey, of course. It's New Jersey.
It would be New Jersey.
A Berlin man charged with murder after shooting man in the stomach with an arrow. A 25-year-old Berlin man has been charged with shooting another man in the stomach with an arrow, killing him on Monday night. According to the Camden County Prosecutor's Office, the person's name on the first block of North Brill Avenue in Berlin is charged with the murder of victim's name of Cape May Courthouse. Authorities say the victim got into a fist fight with another resident of this particular house sometime between 10 and 10:45. The argument then broke up, but everyone except for this person went back inside the house. According to witness statements provided by police, after the fight ended, the perpetrator, the suspect, who was not involved in the altercation, this is just some random dude, came out of his house carrying a compound bow and a quiver of arrows, authorities say. The man is now charged with shooting the other man in the stomach with one of the arrows fired from his bow. He admitted to driving to a wooded area in Winslow and disposing of the bow and arrows, according to probable cause statement issued by the state. Police found the victim lying in the backyard of the house where he was shot. He's pronounced dead at a hospital later on. Apparently, though, the arrow perforated an iliac vein in his pelvis and killed him. So he basically bled internally until he died from being shot by an arrow.
Which is absolutely a brutal way to die. I mean,
yeah, not the modern way to die. Thank God for firearms.
I'm just saying, like that seems a whole lot less barbaric when you put it in that context. That people used to kill each other really horribly. Like killing somebody used to be very difficult to do.
Yeah.
The amount of willpower it took to kill a person, like it doesn't even make sense because when you hit somebody with that arrow that's just not fun for them for the rest of their life, which is long enough.
But anyone who's seen Lord of the Rings knows that you can recover from being shot by bow and arrow. It takes 5 or 6 to take down a grown man from Gondor.
I mean,
so you got to be careful.
It takes a special kind of guy, though.
Shot placement is very important.
Of course.
You got to be careful with that. I mean, yeah, and the thing is, like, it took so much effort to kill people back then, but they still did it anyway, and a lot of the time. Like, they did it a lot.
Very often.
Like, you and I would probably be having a sword fight over, a little patch of 1 acre land back in the day.
Something like that. Because here's the thing. And this is going to sound callous because of how it is that guy died. I really want to just state how much I don't want to die from a bow and arrow specifically. Not because of the way that guy died, he bled out. I don't want to die from a bow and arrow just because, like, that's something that's going to go on your tombstone. People will always remember you for that. It will overshadow every aspect of your life.
Everything that's ever happened before that and after that. He's the guy who got killed by a bow and arrow.
Yeah, I mean, and it's weird because, like, that actually is the horrible way to die, but it's right up there in ridiculousness with falling down a flight of stairs and choking on toast. Those are not things that I want to be remembered for ever. I want my tombstone to be Keon Rose passed in his sleep or something like that.
Had no idea it was coming.
Yeah, just
it was laughing it up and died.
It just spontaneously combusted.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
That would be interesting.
If I could, like, spontaneously combust in a strategic place, just like by happenstance, I'm in like a EB Games or something and combust and all the Nintendo games go with me. I'd be okay with that. I'd be at like a movie premiere and it just burst into flames. Like Star Wars Episode 8, something like fire kills hundreds as a man spontaneously combusts.
What I really want is for, to be watching some movie where fire is just a large part of the movie. Like, I don't know, the girl with the dragon tattoo or something.
Yeah.
And then in the fire scene, explode. Just for no reason. None whatsoever.
Like in the 80s when a car would go off a cliff and it would just explode before it even hit the ground.
Right.
They don't build them like they used to.
No, not at all.
Now they don't even explode when you're running off a cliff.
Like, I like to imagine that car was bound to explode anyway. The cliff actually saved everyone.
You're right.
The car exploded in a place where there were no people who could be injured whatsoever.
This car might have exploded in a car park or something.
That's one of my favorite things to do with movies is to, like, just twist them into explanations that make sense to me.
And
like,
you only.
Yes. For instance, hackers in movies. They never hack the way that they're supposed to.
No.
Because movies don't understand how hacking works, except for Mr. Robot.
Yeah.
But one thing that I really like to imagine is that the action hero runs into the room and asks the hacker to do something, and it's the story as the action hero remembers it. And since he knows nothing about hacking, and it might as well be magic so far as he's concerned, that's exactly, we, the audience, see what he sees when he's retelling the story, which is just ridiculousness.
That makes NCIS watchable now.
It does, kind of.
I made a GUI in Visual Basic so we can track his IP.
She said GUI.
GUI, oh my God. She did say GUI, didn't she?
She did say GUI.
And the average 53-year-old watcher is not going to know what a GUI is.
Not at all. Which is the point. They just put together a bunch of techie sounding words, strung them together, and just said, here you go.
It's a graphical user interface, in case you don't know.
So, using that.
Or as I've come to call it, GUI/Linux.
There you go.
But anyway. I'd just like to interject for a moment. What we've been calling GUI is actually GUI/Linux. Or as I've been taking to calling it GUI plus Linux. But we'll move on.
Yeah, there you go. Alienating our audience as we do.
Alienating you, too.
Especially.
So I was with my boss driving up to Lookout Mountain for undisclosed reasons. We were checking out Point Park and having fun. A little bit of a vacation for us. And he did something that scared the pants off of me, for one. He decided that it would be quite a fun idea, and I hope the statute of limitations has happened in the last week or so. He did this thing that just drove me crazy. He went the wrong way down a one-way road and knew it and was okay with it and was in fact laughing at the time while cars are honking at us. And I'm going, boss, you're going the wrong way. Boss, you're going the wrong way. Boss, you're going the wrong way. And he's like, I know. And he says, this is how you know if someone's following you. If they're following you and you think they're following you and you go down a one way and they follow you down the one way going the wrong way, you know they're following you now.
What are you being tailed by the Yakuza? Like, what is the point of what is the point of that?
What if it's the cops? Then they're going to pull you over.
If the cops are following you, you'll still know.
I'll lose them. You go down the one way. Right. But they won't follow us here. The cops can't because they have to follow the law.
Because they do that so often.
He got us again.
There's a cop that's just sitting at the entrance to the one way, shaking his fist at you in rage.
It's like in the old movies. It's like, I crossed the county line. You can't get me now.
Yeah, right. Zounds, foiled again by the law that I have to keep.
Curse you, Billy Bob. Billy Bob Thornton, you've done it again with your singer-songwriting acting career.
Oh.
So the Samsung Galaxy S7 has officially been canceled. You can no longer buy a Samsung Galaxy S7. And Samsung put out a special, and this is not a joke, a special fireproof box with gloves that you could use to ship your Samsung Galaxy S7 back to the manufacturer.
That is such awful PR.
It really is. This is like if Ford had to cancel the F-150 because like the tires blew up or something, or the airbags fired prematurely. Oh wait, that happened. But Takata airbags, not very fun. But it's so. This is my main concern is not it exploding in my pocket. My main concern is this device that's called the Samsung Galaxy Gear VR. Now, Samsung Gear VR is where you slot the phone into a pair of goggles and wear it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if this thing burns and the lithium battery explodes while I'm watching a VR experience, I'm going to be a little bit angry, I think, and blind.
You're going to be a blind person.
I'd be blind with rage, you might say.
You could say that. And you're going to need a tablet, a little table area in your car to help you get places.
I need a Braille iPhone real quick. I'm going to need a Braille map on my desk on my car so I can finally get around places.
Right.
I won't know where I am, but I'll get around places.
Your Braille iPad that you have out in front of you.
Well, is that not a thing yet, too, in the 21st century? You'd think they could have a...
You know what? I don't know.
Or like an iPad for, like, people in a coma.
You know, we could think about these things.
I was thinking about that.
They're the number one market that they're untapped.
It's an untapped market. I want to make movies for people in comas.
Who else would appreciate it?
You can put anything in them, really. So it's just like...
If they're displeased, you don't know.
Copy, paste, like Wayne's World, and just make it a black screen with no audio. And you basically got it. It's just subtitles, but actually you don't need that. Just like a blank PNG file on a Raspberry Pi, like, little screen. And there you go.
You got it.
Movies for those in comas. Call it Coma Films. It's my new idea. So we have to get to this very quickly because it's a user request.
It's a user request, and we did promise.
We did promise our friend on Twitter that we would do it, so here it is. Maple syrup theft. I tweeted out, please tell me something offensive I can joke about, because I think I didn't go overboard. I went about just right. But yesterday I was pretty offensive. So I tweeted out, please give me something offensive I can talk about on the show, but nothing about poor people, because I'm poor. And I too am also poor. We both be very offended. I don't feel comfortable with that. I don't feel comfortable talking about that. Like nothing about, God, and nothing about being poor. I think that's just inappropriate. But New York Times has a story here. An $18 million theft. The victim was a Canadian maple syrup cartel. Of course. In Ottawa, Canada. It was an inside job of sorts. Thieves with access to a warehouse and a careful plan loaded up trucks, and over time made off with $18 million of valuable commodity. That commodity? Maple syrup. $18 million worth of maple syrup. Simon Trepanier said, it's like OPEC. He's the general manager of Federation of Quebec Maple Syrup Producers. We're not producing all the maple syrup in the world, but by producing 70 to 78%, we have the ability to adjust the quantity that is in the marketplace. Now, wait a minute. Could someone be arrested for market manipulation in the maple syrup market?
Admitting market manipulation?
Is this like Enron for maple syrup?
Well, I remember in the 90s they had Enron for milk. That there were two milk companies working together to fix milk prices.
So fixing maple syrup prices might actually be a thing.
You actually might be breaking the law there.
My gosh, we stumbled across something.
We could possibly
call Julian Assange.
Quick.
We need some WikiLeaks on the maple syrup industry real quick. Real fast.
That actually, I would read those.
Print them up. Yeah, I'd read it all day.
I was reading WikiLeaks this week for the first time ever.
The Podesta emails?
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
It's very interesting.
The dude believes in aliens and everything. It's great.
I know. And then they were talking about it on Coast to Coast also.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a Russian hacker, so who cares? That's the narrative anyway. Did you hear that on Hannity? They're like, well, all the leaks that have come out, they're from Russian hackers, and I don't think that they're true, and I don't have anything else to say about it.
Which is crazy, because Sean Hannity cites WikiLeaks often.
Yeah.
So it's just weird.
But Russian hackers.
Okay. If you say so. Also, there's a book called Live Free or Die. It's about space invasion, and the aliens want maple syrup.
Uh-oh. So
I'm not kidding. It's a real book.
We know who to call.
Yep, by John Ringo.
Really?
Yeah.
2 members of the Beatles, huh? This is Two Millennials Talk on Hot News Talk Radio.
I'm Keon Rose.
I'm Russell Stroud.
See you next week.
Bye.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
I'm blowing everything up. We're starting over. I'm doing a new show. I want guys who push it to the middle of the table and go over the top. Take a risk, fail miserably. I'm right, and I'm not wrong, and I'll never back down. Conflict works. Allow it.
It's The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Right here and everywhere. Noon Eastern.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Listen up, y'all. Ben Phillips, Home Rate Mortgage, 805-9100. I'm in the business of saving people money. And if you want to save money, pick that cell phone up right now. 805-9100. I received a call that I won't forget. The guy is a Chattanooga police officer who served our great country in the Air Force. A true American hero. Our hero is renting, which costs too much for a space too small. We helped him achieve the American dream. And the best part is this. He purchased a $180,000 home with zero down. His payment is $200 less than what his rent was. And now he has a safe place with more space to raise his family. It's easy, and you can do it too. It just takes 10 minutes and one phone call. 805-9100.
Turn a house into a home.